Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sweet 301. I'm Sandy Sanderson coming to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here at the NCBBA Cole Club Sports headquarters. And Christian, good to see you. How are you doing today?
Doing well, hanging in there, Sandy.
Yeah. Well, we're full bore into the middle of quarantine. We've got the directive coming from the White House, April 30th. We'll reevaluate again. So not a lot of action in the sports world right now, but we can give our hopes today is that we can give our viewers some feedback, some updates on where we stand on events, and hopefully for a brighter future. And looking forward to what's to come. I did notice on the sport front that the UFC is going to have an event live. I guess they've got a fight coming up. They're going to do it spectatorless, and that they're going to be. From what I hear, they're looking at a private island that they're going to host this UFC event from. So might be some interesting sports to have on TV for the first time in quite a while. Anyway, Thank you for tuning into the show. We hope you're safe wherever you are. This is our Sweet 301 episode coming to you live from Pittsburgh. As I mentioned, you can always catch our shows on Facebook and YouTube as well. I guess let's get started on some baseball stuff, Christian. Why don't you give us an update of where we are on NCBA postseason updates?
Yeah, I think we discussed it last episode 2 weeks ago, where we gave you guys the dates as far as where we're going to be making this season for Division 1, or excuse me, for Division 2 and Division 3. We're looking at April 17th as the date that we're going to look at where we are. From regional location standpoints, team participation standpoints, to really have an idea of if we're going to be able to host regionals, which at this point we are still planning on hosting regionals. On the Division 1 side of things, with the regionals a week later, May 8th through 10th, the deadline is April 24th. So check back in with us, any baseball teams out there. If your school has given you a updated, information on any new restrictions or mandates, please pass that along to us, because that'll be valuable information for us to know. So if you have questions in the meantime, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us at Call Club Sports. And we'll try and give you as much information as possible. So right now, we don't have a ton of information. We're kind of just in a holding pattern, but all those teams out there, sit tight. And as things develop, we will let you know.
And one of the things that's unique, of all our leagues, other than football, who's in the off season right now, is not seeing a whole lot of impact from this, other than that they're not on campus practicing. Most of all of our baseball postseason is in the month of May. So we're still holding out hope that things clear up out there, and we get to go ahead to proceed and get back on the baseball field. I did hear MLB is also looking at a May start date. I guess they're looking to start the season potentially sort of a spring training, going back to their spring training venues, playing ball in empty stadiums, but having it count as regular season in the near future. So, all right. Well, let's bring Savannah on the line. And Savannah, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Give us an NCSA update. Savannah, now softball's in a little different position than baseball is. Why don't you take us through what's going on there in terms of the softball leagues?
Yeah, so in terms of softball, we have already we have officially canceled all 8 NCSA regional playoffs and the remainder of the regular season. We are still hopeful that we will be able to, if it sounds like MLB is going to be playing in May, hopefully we're going to be playing in May for our World Series as well down in Columbus, Georgia.
Yes. Softball, the regional playoffs were set to take place. I believe one was supposed to take place this coming weekend. Is that correct? Or 2 weekends from now? When were the original dates? Okay.
I don't know what day today is, but it's like mid-April and then mid to late April.
Right. And, with the White House orders, April 30th being the day that we'll reevaluate, it just became impossible to put on the softball playoffs. So, but we're holding out hope. I think we have a graphic, an overlay somewhere that, talks about how we would proceed with the World Series. Knock on wood that we'll be able to proceed. The World Series slated to be May 14th through the 17th in Columbus, Georgia. Now, 4 teams had already clinched their conference titles and would have had places in their regional playoffs. Those 4 teams would get automatic bids to this World Series, and then the other 12 teams would all be at large bids to fill the field of 16. Correct?
That is correct. Yes.
And we have set a date of April 24th as when we're going to evaluate, really the state of the virus, the state of the government mandates on, quarantine and staying at home. April 24th will be the day where we evaluate where are we, does it look promising, and are we going to be able to move forward with the World Series? So that's really the date where softball teams should be looking for more information from us as what May holds.
Yep.
And
I definitely think, if you're a team that's still allowed to compete at this point, you can still be being prepared for that. We'll probably be in contact with those teams prior to April 24th, just so that we can keep on, because we're still planning, we're still moving on. So definitely just keep a heads up for that.
Well, talking about planning and keeping in good spirits, talk to us about some of what your teams have been doing social media wise.
Yeah, so myself, along with the rest of the NCSA regional directors, really wanted to get some positive softball vibes out there. So we've started challenging our teams to some cool things. The NCSA regional directors put our own TikTok game of catch around out there, and now we're challenging our own teams to create their own videos as well. And we've got several responses already. Illinois, Towson, and Ohio State made awesome videos. So thank you guys. It was fun playing catch with all of you. Hopefully we'll be able to do that in live.
Well, are we able to get some of those videos up here? There we go.
I'm gonna take my horse through the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the back, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now, can't nobody tell me nothing. Down, down, down. Da, da, da. Down, down, down. Show me pity, show me party. I'll be what you want, and keep it spinning.
All right. Well, you can always count on the NCSA girls to put a smile on your face and keep positive attitude. So I'm real glad to see that they're keeping upbeat and having a good time during this this tough time for a lot of people. So good stuff.
Yeah,
You
we
do
love
have,
it.
there is a,
And we encourage all the other teams. I know they're probably working on their videos now, so we'll keep sharing those on our social media outlets. Just keep sending them our way.
and there is a little bit of positive news just today, right, on the new team front.
Breaking news as of today, like hours fresh. We just added George Washington University as a new team for the 2020-2021 season. So Colonials on board with us. It's that bright spot that we will be playing softball soon, and 2021 will be a brand new season, and we're excited to have the George Washington Colonials joining us. So.
Yeah, and they joined Bel Air Mine as the other new team already on board for next season, and
Yep.
it's great. So if you're a new team out there, a potential team watching out there, just because we're kind of in a holding pattern with play right now doesn't mean you can't secure your spot for next year. Savannah's who you definitely want to touch base on that. So keep up the good work on adding teams. I did see the Facebook post about George Washington joining, and I saw a lot of comments about people excited about another Mid-Atlantic team there. So good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Any other items? Any other housekeeping items you want to bring up?
For current teams. Yep. The LPA renewals will be coming out tomorrow, as well as the registration forms. And that's how you're going to update us on who your new officers are for the upcoming season. And then that renewal LPA will get you all set up and all renewed for next season. And the All-American nomination forms went out yesterday. And I've already gotten quite a few of those. So I know some teams are really excited to recognize those players, especially probably some of their seniors that didn't get to finish out the regular season. But we have plenty of stats, and we're excited about recognizing those players that had outstanding seasons this year. So please make sure to get those All-American nomination forms in. The requirements have been lowered this year, so everyone should be able to be included.
Outstanding. Yeah, there's always, there's lots of positive things that can still happen from 6 feet away from each other. So, yeah, definitely get your nominations in for All-American and, earn some awards for your teammates that deserve them. So, all right, Savannah. Well, let's see. That's it for this show. Our next one is going to be the 21st, so it'll be right before we have that do or die deadline on the World Series. So hopefully we'll have some positive vibes coming at us for our next show when we have you on.
Yep, sounds great. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Savannah. All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with some updates on the NCFA.
The Game is the official headwear sponsor for Cold Club Sports. They offer our team's quality headwear, such as hats, visors, boonies, and beanies for a great low price. All items are customizable to meet our team's needs. Contact Felicia.Battaglia at coldclubsports.com for all of your headwear needs.
Rawlings is the official uniform, apparel, and equipment sponsor of the NCBA and NCSA. All member teams receive up to 45% off on all Rawlings orders. All uniforms and apparel options are fully customizable. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Justin Rickert at justin.rickert@coldclubsports.com or call at 412-321-8440, extension 111.
All right, we're back, and we're going to bring Joe Schaefer on, Director of NCFA Football Operations. There's Joe. Joe, how are you doing up there in Buffalo?
Doing good, Sandy. How about yourself?
We're hanging tight down here. And it's been some beautiful weather the last few days, so at least the kids have been able to get outside and run around the yard and shoot hoops in the driveway. So trying to get rid of that, shake loose that cabin fever that's going on. But this is a big week for the NCFA. I mean, in the past couple shows, we talked about the addition of some new teams, which secured the 2020 seasons ago. We got schedules out, and now we've got the league meeting tomorrow. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the league meeting will take place tomorrow night, 7 p.m. For the first time ever, we're doing it. We're streaming it on the NCFA Facebook group page. So if you're a member of the group, you'll get a notification through Facebook in order to join the meeting. And we're going to stream it just like we are doing right now with Suite 301. Any comments, questions, rule suggestions, anything involving your voice, you're going to have to type out through the comments section of the stream. It's the first time we're doing it online. I know we do an online league meeting format for all of our other leagues. Pretty excited to transition to this. I think we'll have a lot more participation, a lot more viewers. I've already had some potential teams that are interested in 21 reach out. They're going to be tuned in as well. It's a great way to get ahead of that process, in order to join the league. You become a lot more informed. A lot of these potential teams, the information that we're going to be talking about, not only from an administration standpoint, but you're also going to hear from other teams in the league. And they'll have the freedom to be able to ask questions to these other teams on, fundraising, how these teams got started, roster size, any sort of questions or issues that they can address not only with us, but with other teams as well.
Right, absolutely. And as you mentioned, this is the first time we're doing it online for football. It's always been a brick and mortar meeting for football, but I think what we've gotten to, what the teams have determined is, the rule changes aren't becoming that substantial. They've kind of got that sweet spot where they, 95% of the league operations are how they like it. And why invest all that money just to drive to Pittsburgh to all getting together in a room, which, don't get me wrong, was enjoyable. And it's great networking, but, budget times, especially now, look at it now where we can't be 6 feet away from each other. The online meeting really makes sense. It just kind of all works out this year. And I think the teams will enjoy it. The baseball teams, the basketball teams have certainly gotten used to it on their end. And it becomes a much more efficient meeting, and we can still get a lot of good stuff accomplished. So, yeah, definitely tune in tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern, right there on the NCFA Facebook page. And, prepare your questions in advance. If you got rule change ideas, prepare them in advance so you're ready, to contribute to the discussion. And, hopefully you can get your rule changes put on the ballot to vote upon.
That's right. And
All right.
Real quick, for any teams that are tuned in here, just one last thing. This meeting is designed for team representatives, coaches, and any faculty, in the club sports department. This isn't for your mother and father to tune in. We want people that are directly affiliated with the team. You mentioned the efficiency level of the meeting. We don't want to have a 6-hour meeting. I know it's been like that in years past with the brick and mortar, and that's why we're transitioning into this. We don't want to abuse the fact that, we're letting as many people in on the stream as possible, letting as many people on the Facebook group page as possible. Just keep it team representatives and coaches, ones that are tuning in and chiming in.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, Joe, look forward to it. I know you got some final prep for the meeting tomorrow. Good luck with that. And we'll be talking to you tomorrow night for the meeting. And we're going to move on to some women's basketball updates now. Stay safe, Joe.
Thanks. You too, guys.
All right. So next up, we're going to talk about women's basketball, followed by men's basketball. So let's get Alec Verhoff on there he is. Alec, how are you doing from confines of your house? Once again, no volume from Alec. I think this is 2 weeks in a row. So, now, I can't hear you, Alec, unfortunately. We got to diagnose that problem. The women's basketball has had some updates. The national championship is supposed to be 10 days away. I believe, the last show we had to cancel the playoffs that were scheduled for late March, the regional playoffs, and we crowned regional champions. We determined that about 90% of the regular season had gotten played. We determined with that number, we were able to confidently crown national championships, our regional champions, based on the merit that they earned in the regular season. So those are the teams that we're going to move on to the national championship, with the extension by the White House to April 30th of stay quarantined. There was just no way that the national championship could happen this year. We were disappointed about that. We were very excited for the first year of the national championship being in Erie, PA. I know Erie, PA was very disappointed as well, but they understand the bigger goal here is everyone's safety and so forth. So, but that said, we were able to, we looked at, what we had on paper from the regular season, and we did crown Ohio State as the 2020 NCBA Women's Division National Champion. We got some stats we can put up here on the board. They finished number one in the Great Lakes Conference with the regular season, 12-0 undefeated in conference play. Their overall record, 22-1-1 overall, very impressive. And another big item, they finished ranked number one nationally in the final Phenom Elite Top 15 poll. So we congratulate the Ohio State Buckeyes on the first ever NCBAW National Championship. Sure, it's not the way we had all hoped it would get settled on the court, but given the circumstances, we wanted to make lemonade out of lemons. And Ohio State was clearly the most deserving, giving the platform we had to crown a national champion. So we congratulate the Buckeyes on that. Couple of housekeeping items on the women's basketball side of things. We're going to be coming out with LPA renewals here, hopefully by the end of the week, so the teams can secure their spot for next year. Also, another big thing is the All-American nomination forms. I know Alec is compiling data for all the players that were nominated thus far. If your team did not nominate anybody, please, it takes a couple minutes just to fill out the form. Email it to Alec. Who knows, one of your girls may end up getting an All-American honor, and that'd be just a nice cherry on top of the season as it has come to a close. Another item is the league meeting, which will be coming up here. Date set for that. It is going to be an online meeting. It'll be hosted right through the NCBBA Women's Facebook group. The date of that meeting is there Thursday, April 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll review the 1920 season, kind of talk about how it went. We're going to reach out to the teams. Do they want to propose any rule changes that they want voted upon for moving forward? Ask questions. This is probably the most important meeting of the year for us because it's the Women's League's first year in existence. This is where we need the feedback as to what did you like about it? What needs improvement? The other leagues, we have few years back and forth of feedback. It's important to us. And our goal is to create a league that best suits your needs. We had this crazy hiccup in the first year. Not the team's fault, not our fault. We all did our best to take it in stride and do what we could. But besides that, operationally, what would be better for the teams? Mark it on your calendar, participate in this meeting, bring your voice to the table so that we can understand where you're coming from. You can understand where other teams are coming from, and hopefully you can introduce change for the future that'll make the league even more enjoyable for all our members. So, all right, well, that wraps things up on the women's basketball side. Let's bring Christian back on to give us a recap of the men's. Christian, welcome back.
Kidding. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Very funny. Very funny. Nice.
Yes. All right.
I assume I assume I'm not the only person that couldn't hear Alec.
No, I could not hear him. He might need to get out of his bat cave that he's broadcasting.
Or at least turn a light.
Maybe that'll help.
Turn a light on or open a window. Something. You need some light.
Something.
All right. Yeah. So give us the update on the men's basketball. How'd that play out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to sound like an echo, but a lot of the same things on the women's side, on the men's side. I know last episode we did talk about the 6 teams that clinched regional spots. Those teams would have went on to the national championship tournament. We'd have also had to pick 2 at-large bids to make that a field of 8. But as Sandy mentioned on the women's side, with the government mandating the April 30th date and the national championship being April 17th through the 19th, that made hosting this event an impossibility. So very similar to the women's side of things, we found out that we did play 91% of the regular season, which we felt was, a good number that we felt comfortable crowning a national champion. You see it on the screen there. UMass Lowell. Lowell was the 2020 national champion. They went 18-0 in conference play, 18-0 overall. And then also we're recognized as the 1 team nationally in the Phenom Elite Top 20 poll. So congratulations to the Riverhawks out in UMass Lowell. I know I've been talking with their president, Matt Maslowski, the last few days, getting them some, some things to ship out to them to congratulate them on their national championship. Obviously not how we wanted it to end. I know even they didn't want it to end that way, but we're definitely excited to be crowned national champions regardless. So congratulations to them, and thank you to all the teams in the NCBBA for patience, understanding, and just trying to be positive given the circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. Take us through what else we got. On a positive note, we have added. We were going to bring Alec back to talk about this, but I'm guessing we can't hear him, so we'll just stay right here with you. We have added a new team to the league since the last show. Talk to us
Yes.
about that.
Yeah, Mercy College just joined. I believe it was March 26th, just a few days after our last broadcast. They're in Dobbs Ferry, New York, so they're going to be a great fit. Tons of teams around them. So I know a lot of teams are going to be excited to have another NCBBA team in close proximity. And we've also this year we've added Appalachian State University and American University as well. So excited about that. As Savannah said on the softball side of things, it's a small silver lining. It kind of gives you a little bit of excitement that, brighter days are around the corner. We will have a 2020-2021 season. So having those new teams join is exciting and kind of gives us a little, a good feeling that, like I said, brighter days are around the corner.
Yes, and speaking of looking forward to the new season, you've got the men's basketball meeting coming up as well. Take us through that a little bit.
Yeah, Wednesday, April 22nd. It's the day before the women's annual league meeting. Broadcasting it online as well. I believe it'll be on the Facebook page and also be available on the Facebook group. But as long as you like the Facebook page, NCBBA men's Facebook page, or a member of the group, you'll be able to view that meeting. And as we were talking about on the women's basketball side of things, very important meeting. We're going to be going over this past year. Obviously talking a bit about this coronavirus, but we'll also be talking about the upcoming year. And then obviously the big topics are going to be rules for the upcoming year. And I know that I have, I don't want to say quite a few, but things that I would like to bring to the table as far as new rules for the upcoming season. It's certainly important for all those teams to tune in. Any teams that, have new leadership coming in for next season, you want to make sure that they have that invitation. It's online. You can download it from the website. It's on Facebook, on all the social media. I believe we got it on Twitter as well. So make sure to tune in. It's very important. April 22nd, 7 p.m. And it'll be a lot of great information that we'll be going over.
Yeah, absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I think one of the big rules we're going to discuss is the possible change from 3-game series to 2-game series. I know it is something that the teams have proposed in the past. They didn't get enough traction. It got votes, but it didn't get approved. One of the reasons when we started the women's league this year, we sort of urged them to try it out. And I think it was successful on the women's side. I really thought it was, and I would now be supportive of it on the men's side too. So looking forward to that conversation, see how teams feel about it. And I assume it'll get enough support to get on the ballot again. But I would support it this year after having gotten to see it firsthand operate in the women's side. So definitely an important meeting. Anything other housekeeping you want to close up with on the men's basketball side before we go?
Yeah, All-Americans, those forms were sent out. They were actually due on Friday. But if there's any stragglers out there that want to get one sent in, please send it to me. Again, it's something positive you can take out of this negative situation we're in, giving your players some recognition. So anybody out there, if you need a form, please let me know. I can get it to you, but they've all been emailed out. And please send those in because in the coming days, I'm going to be compiling those All-American selections. So time is running out, but if you can get it to me in the next day or two, we should be able to get you considered. So look out for that. That's about it.
All right, good stuff. Well, hey, it's a brief show this week. Not a whole lot of action to talk about, but hopefully we were able to update you on the status of all of our organizations. We got some big meetings coming up, big dates on the calendar for decisions to be made regarding postseason play. So I hope you took some value in that as well. So that's our show for this month. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Suite 301. And always don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Yep. And the next episode will be Tuesday, April 21st at 3:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook. And make sure to join us to catch up on everything that is happening around Cult Club sports.
We hope you and your families are staying safe during this time. Keep your 6 foot at distance, and we'll get through this together soon. So, and don't forget, it's a game.
Have fun.